on the other side, I must have called 1,000 times. That's Adele, who has a residency here in Vegas. Welcome to the show that proves you can do a live show from a sports book in a Vegas casino. Punchlines. We're here at the South Point in Las Vegas. I'm Frank Nicotero, longtime comedian, lifelong sports fan. And today's show, well, it will start peacefully like a shot from the fairway. Very quiet. Only to quickly make you shout, oh my God, in a flash. Check out this shot. So they're out, they got a drone getting their shots, and then she hits one, he hits one, and then here comes the shot. She kills the drone, ladies and gentlemen. Do you want to see the drone angle? Oh, we have it. Bam! That's how we're going to do it. Start slow, hit you hard.
This is Nelly Corda and Ricky Fowler. They were doing a
we love Corda.
Tutorial or shot tutorial and that kind of stuff. So,
and Ricky Fowler from Talladega Nights. Different Ricky. All right. Yeah. So anyway, what do you yell when you hit the drone? 4? I don't know what Ryan's doing, ladies and gentlemen. Something's going on. I might as well just introduce him right now. Behind the glass, he's like the drone pilot of this show, always creating an exciting shot and amazing our viewers. It's Ryan McCormick. Ryan, what's on the flight plan for today?
Today we've got 2 special guests.
Oh my God, you're sucking helium, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Good post with punchlines, talking about the All-Star game, some fun NFL content. So yeah, it's going to be a great show.
Did you decide to do the helium like just right before the show, or
it was a plan with our director?
Oh, that's why she's laughing. Okay, because she's in on it.
Yes.
All right. Those are leftover balloons from Jeff Pearl's birthday.
Sean's birthday.
Oh, Sean's birthday?
Yeah.
Oh, those are Schon balloons. Yeah, Schon had his birthday on a Saturday or Sunday, though, so we didn't celebrate it on this show, but he did. Oh, you're taking another toke? Would you like to introduce our guest, or do you want me to do it?
If you feel like
Go for it.
That's fine.
It would be funnier in helium.
The host of God Race It, former NASCAR racer.
Yeah.
Son of the owner of the show, or owner of the casino, Brendan Gaughan.
Brendan Gaughan, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll tell you what.
Brendan.
I feel right at home. Me and Jeff call ourselves professionally unprofessional, and now I know why I asked for you to fill in with me in a couple weeks when Jeff is missing, because we will absolutely break SiriusXM when we're on our show, because I may have to call Maz and say, might have to have a bleep rule back on or something, but thank you for having me, sir.
Are you kidding me?
Honored to be here.
So you've been here about 10 minutes before the show. We've been talking about just
how bad you drive.
It's not my bad driving. I popped ladies and gentlemen, I know I've mentioned it before. I popped another tire here in Vegas. For 30 years, I changed one tire. I've now
apparently after I've offered to help change the tire for you I
know you did. I got to get the tire first. I've had 4 tire incidences here in Vegas. One last night, blow out on the fit. My mom's watching the show. She doesn't know this yet. Mom, I'm fine. This is another flat. But here's the irony. I had ordered new tires yesterday afternoon. Spent an hour and a half finding them. They're coming Thursday, so now
I had to order the tire.
I had to order the tires because
he's fancy. He's fancy. He's fancy.
So I don't want to impress you. I know you're a former NASCAR driver, Brendan, but I rode my hog over or a 2009 Vespa 150. So
a liquor sickle. All right.
A what? Liquor sickle?
Liquor sickle?
I've never. What does that stand for? Liquor
sickle. That's what they're called in Vegas. The guys that lose their licenses because they have too many DUIs, they can't drive around. They have to drive a liquor sickle.
Okay, I've never heard that. I have
Apparently
a Vespa.
Frank has a liquor sickle.
I don't have a slicker sticker. Liquor slicker. I have a Vespa. There. I'm a proud Vespa. I'm Italian. Vinny! They're making fun of the Vespa. I like my Vespa. It's a short drive.
I got you.
But by the way, you think driving a bike, you have a Harley or?
No, I have a 79 Fat Boy.
Fat Boy. Okay.
Yeah, he's a guy named Harley that has been with me since he was 19 racing.
That's why I'm sad. It's like Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis over here, ladies. I'm like, Dean set him up. Hey, Pally, tell me about that. So, yeah, I have a Vespa. I rode it over, but when it's 140 degrees out, it's not as refreshing as you'd hope.
First of all, I am a born and raised Vegas guy.
Right.
This whole thing that it hit 120 for the first time.
Right. That's not true.
Bull.
I agree.
I used to play high school sports in this town before I went, and I guarantee you there's many times it was 115 to 120. And the other thing is, it's a dry heat. It feels good. I like it.
My sister got married here, I don't know, 20 years ago.
In the summer?
In the summer. She eloped with her boyfriend from Pittsburgh, right? And I was living in LA, so she calls me to come up and visit. And I go out late. I'm out to 4.
Of course.
And she calls me, wakes me up at like 10. I was staying at Bally's, which is now the Horseshoe. I'm like, hello. She's like, you got to be over here in like an hour. I'm like, Gina.
Jim.
Okay. I'm like, Gina, I was up till like 6. I'll meet you guys later. She's like, no, a limo's picking us up. We're getting married in an hour. And I go, Mom's going to kill you. So I get in, and I remember us being in the limo heading to the chapel. and the sign saying 118 or 120. I swear it was 120.
I'm telling you, the Binion's horseshoe sign, I remember driving it my whole life. There was that was kind of how we told when you were driving to school in the morning.
Okay.
You knew how late you were by the Binion's horseshoe because it was the tallest clock in town. And I swear I've seen it that hop before. But they say it wasn't ever official, so now it's official. But I don't care. I was in Florida a couple weeks ago. You can keep that. I'm telling you. No. It feels bad. I'll walk outside right now and go play sports.
Yeah, I know.
I'll take my shirt off, go play a basketball game, pickup game, and I will be just fine. Drink some water. I'll feel fine. I don't mind this heat.
So you play skins. You don't mind. You don't. You're
I've been a fat kid since I was a kid. Skins. These kids nowadays, you have to have jerseys shirts, and all this. Yeah. I was shirts and skins, and
that's how we played. Shirts or skins.
I've been a big boy my whole life. I'm not afraid.
Shirts or skins. Also joining us with Brendan Gaughan. Also, we have our old friend who we haven't talked to since, I'm going to say like January. I think he was on the show right after New Year's. Dennis Evans, our KC Sports anchor, will be on the show. We'll talk about the Big 12 or the 7-Eleven Big 12, as I like to call it, because I'm looking for a sponsor for them. We're going to talk about the Royals, the Chiefs, and there's this proposal that some congressman or senator, I know Dennis will know all the details, about trying to move the Chiefs and Royals out of Missouri into Kansas.
Well, you got the Kansas Speedway right there on the Kansas side. I mean, they got a whole entertainment complex out there. You could do it.
There you go. We'll find out about that. So, yeah, we're excited to have him on the show. We haven't had him in a while. And, yeah, Brian, I was going to call you, but Ryan, I want to hear your normal voice now?
Sure.
Okay. When's the last? You feel like you might be a little lightheaded? I think you got like a little buzz.
I've had to.
I think Ann was huffing it before. She was laughing doing the intro to the show, and I think she might have been huffing a little that helium for.
The thing that's great is we have so many rotating people in and out of the show that there's always balloons in the studio, and there's always time for Ryan's
helium. Nice. All right.
Ryan, this is actually an intervention episode. We want to step in and talk to you about your helium problem. We usually like to do a comedy clip of the day right about here, something funny. And Ryan found this the other day. Are you familiar with the Portland Pickles? They're an independent league baseball team.
I am not familiar with the Portland Pickles. Savannah Bananas.
We love the bananas. Okay. What do you think the Portland Pickle mascot is?
I would be guessing that it is a phallic-looking pickle.
This is correct. Now, I'm going to ask you what this clip is we're about to show. I'm going to give you multiple choices. Okay. Hold on here. Let me think here. Is it A, the pickle dunking himself in a giant bucket of vinegar and coming out as a larger pickle because he pickled himself? Is it a pickle wearing a thong and dancing to sexy strip club music? Or is it a pickle finding out that it's a female and having little mini pickle babies on the field between innings? A, B, or C?
I really hope it's not C. Okay. I'm going to go with A. I like the A idea, dipping himself in the vinegar, and because who wouldn't really want that?
I thought of this pretty quickly. I was pretty proud that I fooled him because no, it's B. Roll it. Here we go. Here's a pickle stripping right there. It's stripping to. Yeah, it's actually stripping to Genuine's pony, but we don't have the rights for that.
Oh, look at that.
There's a thong. Now, you see there's some children in the stands. So I read it's making it rain. It's putting itself through college is what I've been told.
Yeah, that is the first time I've seen a pickle where the what was that guy Borat? The Borat deal. Yeah. All right.
Now what I read in the comments is
it looks like he needs to dip himself in vinegar.
Yeah, you got to oil him up. Pickles use vinegar. So I looked in the comments and apparently people were like, "Oh, there's children in the stands." The game it said outside for this special game that it was 18 and over recommended to go to a minor league baseball game. Yeah, this doesn't happen out at the ballpark with our aviators.
It was
Did you come up with those things?
It was what?
Strip City night for them.
Strip City.
In Portland?
Portland, yeah.
Listen, did you come up with those three things that quickly?
I did. Well, I knew the one, but I did the other two.
That's what I'm saying. The other two you came up that quickly.
The other two I came up pretty quickly.
That's pretty impressive. I got to give him that. I mean, that was very impressive.
You know why? You know why I can think that clearly? I don't huff helium. I'm always thinking clear. I just use God's oxygen's good enough for me.
There you go. Clean and sober on the show.
Just not in your tires.
I knew you were going to say. I was just going to say. Ryan, I was just going to say that exact thing. All right, let's do lines of the night. So lines of the night, Brennan, is where we find a line. It could be a clothing line because sometimes we show City Connect jerseys that the baseball teams are doing, or it's just a cool stat. And who's going first? You go first. You always go first.
Sure. So one of my picks yesterday.
And getting on some
Ann has issues.
She's panicking.
Listen, at least it's not just my show that Ann has issues on. I like knowing that at least Ann has issues. Now, hey, wait, common denominator. Now I think we know.
And all right, Ryan.
Cameraless Ann. Won't come on camera.
So what's your line of the night?
So in our picks yesterday, we would have went 4-1. Had
Keith Lyle, we tried to do a round, triple dog round.
Three dog roundy, yeah.
3 dog round.
And one of my picks that I had leaned on, that it wasn't an official pick, but by the time we got to the end of the show, we didn't have time to bet the other one, so this one became my official pick.
And this is the Atlanta-Arizona game?
Was the Diamondbacks to beat the Braves.
And Chris Sale, all announced as non-starter.
Right, so if you ended up placing it at the time of the show, you ended up getting 50 cents better, being that Chris Sale was eventually scratched and moved almost a $half. And so down to their last out, Paul Sewald blows his third save in the last 7 games for the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks should be on a 9-game win streak. But yeah, Sarah Langs likes to do that fun kind of roller coaster win probability chart. Always going we. But yeah, this is some fun at Sewald.
Yeah, he blew that game. I know me, you, and Keith were texting about it. Watt keeping an eye on it because we had it in this triple dog roundy. And he blew it. They should take Sewald. You should take the W out of your name and go as Sewald because you didn't get the W, you got an L. See, I made that up too, Brendan. You can see they're not all.
I made up
should have stopped with the multiple choices.
But it made sense.
That's right.
I mean, it made sense. WL. I get it.
I even wrote it down.
Sewald. I get it.
I like fun at Sewald.
Fun at Sewald, like SeaWorld.
Exactly.
Oh, his title was Fun at Sewald.
Yep.
I missed it. I usually pay
you're good at
attention to the
reading.
title. I missed it. That's a good one. Fun with Sewald, aka SeaWorld, which should be shut down. Get me off my soapbox. All right, here we go.
Oh, God.
I'm joking. I don't care. Okay, here we go. I went to an aquarium in a strip mall here in Vegas.
Yeah.
Do you know about this? It's called like
Sequest. Sequest. Take the kids all the time.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
I think that's where we're going for.
You know, you can scuba dive in the Mandalay Bay tank. I've done it.
The Mandalay Bay tank, you can scuba?
With sharks.
No,
Done it.
not doing it. I've mentioned this on the show, Brendan.
I got my kids in the tank.
I
with
saw
sharks.
Jaws when I was 6, and I haven't recovered.
All you guys in the shark thing.
I'm horrified of sharks. They stay off land. I stay out of the water.
I'll show you some pictures afterwards.
All right, but anyway, there is an aquarium in a strip mall that I've been
Sequest.
to, and you'd think it's going to be. It's huge. You
big.
walk around. It's very odd though. You're in a strip mall. You're like, hey, should we grab something from the Goodwill donation store? Hey, let's go to an aquarium. All right, so here's my line of the night. You'll find this interesting. This is a representative in, is it Idaho?
Iowa.
I get them confused. Idaho.
Idaho.
They're flyover states. He was a former player, and so they had some injuries, the Sioux City team, and he's the Iowa State representative, J.D. Scholten. So he came out and he pitched. And he pitched like 4 innings of like 2-run ball. He's 44 years old.
That's real.
Yeah, that's real. Yeah.
The guy, the state representative was at the game. They said, hey.
They called before the game, like, we need. Yeah. They called him in.
Is that like.
I don't know if he was left or right. I don't know. I don't want to get politics in the show. Come on. Thank you. I'm not even snorting helium. Sniffing helium. What? Huffing is the word. Yeah. Brandon.
Sorry.
But anyway,
God, I love that this show is here.
See?
Can I tell you that I love that the fact that, Frank, you're doing the show from the studio? Because if my dad ever watches this, we're both fired. So, it's awesome.
Block it. His TV.
Did you just say F?
I did not.
No, he didn't.
No.
He said that's awful.
Okay.
No, show Ryan, show
awesome.
Brendan. I don't know if he's seen this. This is our. I don't know if we should show Brendan actually, but anyway, that's our.
We have an F-bomb club.
That's an F-bomb club.
I did not do an F-bomb. I would not do something like
now,
that.
is Greg Vaughn on top of the list?
He was the
Greg
founding
Vaughn will
member.
be here tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, co-hosting the show with me and Ryan. So check out Major Leaguer Greg Vaughn, and what do you call him, Ryan?
Vonnie.
Vonnie. He calls him Vonnie. We're in the middle of an interview.
As
and
does
Ryan
Denny
goes,
Nagel.
So anyway, hey Vonnie, I was when I go, whoa, did you just call him Vonnie? And he's
That's
like,
not
"Yeah."
how it happened, but
like buddies, like just
Yeah.
old pals. Hey,
Exactly.
Bonnie, what's up?
Yeah, and then I said, well, wait, can I call you Vonnie? He goes, yeah, man. He lives right down the street. He comes in, he bets parlays
Yes,
all
he
the
does.
time, and he's hit a few, and he hangs out and talks Major League Baseball. Anyway, he'll be here tomorrow. All right, my line of the night, we did it. Okay, so we have some fun here on the day of the week, right? So it's July 9th, 2024. It's already July. Can you believe that?
Yep.
Usually people go, no. He's like, yeah, I have a calendar, and my iPhone tells me it's July 9th, 2024. So here are the national days. We like to talk about these national days, these stupid national days.
Yeah, there's 85 national days. Yeah.
Right, and everybody talks about them. Okay, so
Dumb as
today we have National Dimples Day, Cow Appreciation Day, National Sugar Cookie Day. Now, what we do is we put them in an AI computer, and then we combine them all into one. But also, we've added a new feature. Yesterday was Kevin Bacon's birthday. Today it's Tom Hanks' birthday. So I told Caden, hey, why don't we throw Tom Hanks in this, throw these people in there. So here we go. Here's what's come up. Put it in the machine. We have a sound. Caden's put it in the machine. Here we go. There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Tom
Hanks feeding a cow sugar cookie. There you go.
Dude, AI is getting way too scary.
It's insane. Yeah. And he looks, that's a strange, Tom Hanks in the upper right looks
little off.
Little gumpy. Little gumpy. And then what's the bottom right? Is there two Tom Hankses? Why is there two Tom Hankses? Was it? It's what again? It's Fashion Day. I forgot to mention it's fashion. So he's walking the catwalk. Cats.
The catwalk.
Cat.
No. Sorry, I was eating.
She was eating a sugar cookie.
Trying to. So there's Tom Hanks feeding a cow sugar cookie. Happy birthday, Tom Hanks, who, by the way, is pitching tonight for the Portland Pickles. They called him in. They said, we really admire that thing you do. Oh, he's going to make a splash on the team.
Oh,
I don't know if this fastball's really good. That was big. These jokes are terminal.
That was the only one that I got.
Terminal. I remember the Tom Hanks movie no one's ever heard of. How you'll know Tom Hanks is pitching? He's the man with one red shoe. Again, a movie.
Where's it coming from?
I don't know.
One of the best. Come on, Jim Belushi, man with one
Jim
red shoe.
Belushi,
It's awesome.
that movie?
Come on now.
By the way, it's
Actually,
such a weird
might be
movie.
one of the only people besides you that actually have
I
seen that
know.
movie.
By the way, that night there'll be a lot of bachelor parties at the ballpark because he was in bachelor party. Okay.
There's another
A money pit.
questionable joke in there.
And there'll be Philadelphia. Oh, that's a sad one. Okay. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen.
You already did the terminal. That was there.
Yeah, terminal was good enough. We sometimes check in. We haven't done this in a while, Ryan, on this day in sports history. On this day in sports history, I just look sometimes and something pops up. And this one popped up, and it's timely since we've been talking about the All-Star game. Are you a baseball fan? Who's your team?
Whoever Chris or Jimmy tell me I need to root for.
When you were working the Super Bowl, you were working the window writing tickets.
Squirrel.
And I go, hey, who are you rooting for in the game, Brandon? Maybe I could relay it on one of the cut-ins we were doing. You're like, whatever team the casino needs.
I said, I'll tell you as soon as I close my window.
I'll tell you when I close my window. So anyway, the All-Star game in 2002 was played today, July 9th, so 22 years ago. And this is the infamous tie game.
Huh?
Yeah, it tied. There was a tie ball game in the All-Star game. So what happened? This game was played in Milwaukee where Bud Selig, the then commissioner of baseball, owned the Brewers. And what happened was it went no one scored in the ninth, no one scored in the 10th. The teams were out of pitchers. And the $1 million, billion-dollar owners of baseball probably chimed in or picked up a hotline and said, we can't continue this game. So Bud Selig walks out on the field and tells the managers, talks to them, and they called the game.
I don't remember that one if you want to. Yeah. That would be something I thought I would remember. But anybody that bets on an All-Star game, kind of like the idiot that bets on the All-Star race in NASCAR. Well, go right ahead.
I asked Chris, I texted Chris to get a little insight. I'm like, so what happens on that game if you bet aside to win? He goes, you get your money back.
Push, money back.
He goes, yeah, I remember it. He goes, it was the dumbest game of all. Look at that. 7-7, and they awarded no MVP. So they couldn't even give an MVP to anyone.
And they couldn't do that now because who wins the All-Star game now is who gets the home field advantage or whatever.
Well, no, they stopped that a couple years ago. They finally stopped that. Well, this was the reason they made that rule for a while was because they went, well, the All-Star game's meaningless. They just called it a tie. So then they instituted.
It is meaningless.
Well, yeah, but then they instituted what you're talking about. The winning league gets home field advantage for the World Series. Too. And then they realized that was too much pressure on an All-Star game. It's supposed to be fun. And who do you have picking up who in that picture, Ryan?
Barry Bonds, and I forget.
Oh, it's Torrey Hunter.
Yeah. That's
the catch. Was that in that game?
Yes.
It must have been. Okay, so I remember.
He just took that picture off his time. He's right now going, yeah.
No, but me remembering that famous moment is Torrey Hunter. I'm almost positive.
It's like I produced.
Barry Bonds hit a long shot. Torrey Hunter, Gold Glove outfielder from the Minnesota Twins, goes over the fence and pulls it back. And since it's an All-Star game, Barry Bonds went over roid rage, picked him up, and threw him on his shoulder. I mean, I'm assuming he was never convicted, but his head grew 4 sizes and he had more back knee. Anyway, so he picked him up like a sack of potatoes, and Torrey Hunter's probably, I don't know, how much does the center fielder weigh? 230?
210, 220.
220. Yeah. Ryan, what are you?
Not that heavy.
Anyway, it ended in a tie ball game, so there we go. That was stupid. All right, so when do we have Dennis scheduled? Just so we know. 12:30. Okay, so we got some time. So I feel like we should sound the horn possibly. I should have Brendan do it, right? Yeah? Okay. I was waiting for, again, it's Anne's the
the helium's got her.
Well, she's just 8. She's tired. You know, you carb up and you're like, So anyway, we do posts with punchlines where we scour the internet and find some great videos. But we play the post sound where the horses, so you have to call for the horn. Would you like to sound the horn?
Sound the horn, Ann.
There it is.
There we go.
That means it's time for post.
She does that faster with you, too. Like on my show, it's like you say something and you got to wait.
Well, she's got, whoa. Well, no, she actually has this program. All she has to do is touch the P. Is that right?
I think we have another in front of the glass.
She deliberately just went P. What were you saying, Ryan?
I think it's another team on the desk and team behind the glass.
Oh, yeah. See, no. We're all one family. What are you doing this? Vinny, she's stealing our thing.
They showed her, though. She went on camera.
Well, she's directing it.
There you go.
Smart lady. Before we go to the post, and this one isn't in post, but it can be a post. So this guy, Alex Bauman, won the race last week in Chicago. Did you see this? Bauman. Did you see what he said after the race? Can we show the clip of Alex Bauman talking about what he's going to do to celebrate?
Oh, yeah, the bourbon?
Yeah, he's going to drink some damn bourbon.
It's going to be a bad deal. I'm probably going to wake up naked on the bathroom floor again.
Again. So it's not the first time it had happened, but he celebrated.
But way to go, Alex. Listen, probably gained some fans right there.
I know, right? I know. That's now the name. I'm rooting for him.
Frank now knows who Alex Bauman.
I know
Alex
who
Bauman is. So
Bauman. I just call him Alex B.
When you come on Gaughan Race in a couple weeks, we'll do a little class first.
Unbelievable. I just love that. That was that Chicago race that there was the rain and
Yep.
They just keep having races in the rain. And then this week, the racers are they're at the Poconos.
Yep, going to Poconos.
Now, I looked at the power rankings. I see Kyle Larson's number one. Now, I know that name. I don't know if you agree. This is Pat DeCola's power rankings. He has Denny Hamlin fourth, Chase Elliott third, Tyler Reddick second, Kyle Larson first. Do you have any feel for that race?
Listen, Pocono is probably one of the scariest moments of my entire life in a race car.
Okay, what happened?
I drove for Roger Penske when we turned 11,000 RPM. Now, folks at home, your car at home says 4,500, 6,500. NASCAR normally turns 8. Back in 2004, I drove for Penske. We turned to 11,000. Like, absolutely frightening how a
revolutions
push-rod motor...
per minute. Yes.
Like, the whole thing's just shaking apart.
Like my car last night when I blew out of...
Exactly. Going down the front straightaway, and the biggest fear when you go into turn one at Pocono is, God, I really don't want to blow up, because you're looking at like a 90-degree corner.
Eesh.
It's just, you're looking at a straightaway and it goes this way.
Wow.
And I blew my motor going into turn one at 11,000 RPM. And I did everything I could to back that sucker in as hard as it was going to be hard. And
you want to back into the wall?
Yeah, I want to hit back first.
Right, yeah, of course.
First.
Right.
I don't want to look at it. I don't want to see it. And I blew my motor going into turn one. I got it to turn a little bit where I was able to actually slide it back in at the exit. But yeah, scariest thing, Pocono is bad to the bone, and Kyle Larson should be the power rankings. Oh, absolutely. Kyle Larson's on fire. One of the greatest race car drivers. You're witnessing, to be serious for a second, you are witnessing one of the greatest talents, a generational talent.
Wow.
This is not a guy that's winning because he's Hendrick, winning because he's got the best car, the best team, the best crew chief, any of that. He is winning because he is flat out one of the greatest drivers you're ever going to see.
Okay.
And we're witnessing what he can do in any form of racing. Absolutely phenomenal.
Is he like the Max Verstappen of NASCAR?
I would put him up against Max Verstappen and say that unless he got to Formula One where Max has all the computer aided shit, he would probably beat Max in 7 out of 10 driving styles that
and
there are.
Do
in
they
the
go
world.
Shirts and skins for that if they go head to head?
Skins might be a little tough in our world.
In a race car.
Yeah, that might be a little rough.
So Alex Bauman. Damn it. Alex Bauman celebrated with bourbon. What would you do when you won a race? What would you celebrate with?
Really?
Oh, no.
City Light Shine, baby.
What?
Can somebody fill him in? He's working at the South Point now. Can we fill him in?
What is it? Is it whiskey?
My liquor company.
Oh!
I didn't own my liquor company then, though, so I didn't party with that.
What is City Light? Is it a whiskey or
it's a moonshine?
It's a moonshine?
You want some? I can go to the bar, get some. Damn.
That's how we'll close the show.
Punch myself with the freaking mic right there.
I don't have a car. Oh, no, I'm on my Vespa. Well, I was going to...
Liquor sickle. That's what it's there for. That's why you have it.
Liquor sickle. I love that. But by the way, Pete, you can catch Gaughan Racing here on our South Point studios every Thursday at 10 a.m.
Except when we change it.
It's 11 and
go
Central.
other times.
And this is exciting news that I don't think we've talked about on the show, but we're going to do like a set redesign here, right? We're going to get a new desk sometime maybe before football season we're shooting for or something like that.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
But it's we're pretty busy here at South Point.
Yeah.
But we do have some, and we're excited. First, as part of the South Point, Frank, we love having you, dude. It is so much fun having punchlines here. I love watching it. I do watch it, but you do have a lot of fun. I thank you for having me.
Oh, please.
But we are getting a new desk. But the main thing I said was, whatever we get with the new desk, you still have to keep the bottom covered because I am the guy that 90% of the time has a polo shirt on and flip-flops and a pair of shorts. Really? Then Ann goes and blows it for me. Gives the back camera. I got pants on today, Ann. See, pants.
And also, it's very tall because when I get off my chair...
This is a high desk.
It's very high desk.
But what's really fun, though, is when you piss them off back there and you go like,
where's
the button? No, I like doing this one.
Oh, go up. I actually...
and then you...
I don't think I'm tall enough to ride this ride.
Hi.
We need a thing when we walk this. All right, I'm coming down. Hold on.
What was his name? What was Buddy, the old guy from
Buddy Hackett.
Buddy Hackett. When he used to remember Dorf, he used to do the.
Oh no, Tim Conway. Tim Conway. Dorf on golf. Yeah, he would do. Yeah. Does anyone remember? Like okay, we got to go back up.
No, this looks awful. Okay, let me fix this.
Monday montage. There we go. That's
okay.
This will be for the Monday montage, which what is my back? Oh, what? Remote control.
He's happy to see me, or is that a remote control?
That is a remote control in my pocket, and I'm very happy to see you, Brendan. But anyway, you can watch the show. It goes up. You can watch all the back episodes. Jeff Motley and Brendan do a great job. And it also just doesn't air on our YouTube channel. You can also find it on
SiriusXM. We air Saturdays. I don't know what time anymore. Ann might know, but Fridays?
Yes.
Fridays, Saturdays. It re-airs. I was listening to it Saturday the other day. So it re-airs at some point.
I have SiriusXM, and I remember this is true. Last night when my tire blew out, I was listening to Yacht Rock because it's summer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, shut up, Keith Lau. And one of my all-time favorite songs, Brandy, was on by Looking Glass. So
you say Brandy.
I say Brandy.
She's a fine girl.
So I had to steer the ship off the freeway. All right, did we open the thing? Yeah, we did. Pose with punchlines. Ryan, we just talked about bourbon. You did some helium. What's going on here? What else do we have in the post?
So we were talking about drinking bourbon in Chicago.
Yeah.
It is also another kind of drinking year in Chicago, being the way that their sports teams have been performing the last few years.
And this is your town. This is your teams.
Yeah, these are my favorite sports teams.
He's a Cubby guy. That means he's eternally depressed. That's why he's huffing helium.
Yeah, I was raised that way. Thank you, Dad. So we go. This guy put together a video. A Chicago sports fan anonymous.
I'm Johnny, and I'm a Chicago sports fan. Hey, Johnny. 3 years sober now since watching the double doink, and honestly, I think we're going to win the Super Bowl this year. Caleb's the guy. Forget about Fields, Trubisky, Glennon, Cutler, Grossman.
McNown.
Great, now I'm depressed again.
Remember, never stop drinking. My name is Andy, and I'm a Chicago sports fan.
Hey, Andy.
From celebrating 3 Stanley Cups in 6 years to walking down the aisle to Chelsea dagger at my wedding. Now the only dagger I feel is right through my heart.
Never stop drinking. My name is Schon, and I'm a Chicago sports fan.
Hey, Schon.
I mean, my week has been great. I beat up a Cubs fan.
It was a sucker punch.
I had a breaded steak sandwich for lunch, and I finally finished my community service hours.
What about the White Sox?
Are you kidding me? They look great. I've been watching highlights all week. Those are from 2005.
Yeah, maybe you should stop drinking.
Maybe you should stop being gay.
Hi, I'm Drew, and I'm a Chicago sports fan. Hey, Drew. 108 years of misery, all for 1 week of happiness. And with this bullpen now, it's just like... what did I do to deserve this? If I didn't have my dad's skybox, I wouldn't even go to a game.
I got you, buddy.
Hey, where's the Bulls fan?
Oh, he's still stuck in the 90s. Did somebody say the 90s?
So yeah, it's been a great time.
That guy's great.
That was great. Yeah, Johnny Gill. What's his name? Johnny Gill
Gill.
is from New Edition. Yeah, there you go. All right, so check him out. He was funny. That was good stuff.
He does a lot of those videos.
But it's been a brutal year for you right now.
Yeah, I didn't realize White Sox were 29 and like 60.
26 and 67, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
They're not good.
That's impressively bad.
Yeah.
That's like really impressively bad.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to be they are going to be sellers at the deadline. So imagine they get rid of their best players. How many games they're going to lose in the second half if they get rid of Crochet and Luis Robert Jr. and Carlton Fisk? Does he still play there?
Yeah.
Is he still there? Carlton Fisk? I don't know who else is there.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of players
Michael
there.
Kopech could be
see
really good if he
comedy's
gets to another
3.
roster.
You do 2 real ones, you throw in a third fake one. What was that, Ryan?
Eric Fetty could be on the trade block. Michael Kopech could be good if he's really on another roster.
Paul DeJong. I call him. I have a lot of je ne sais quoi.
Grey Poupon?
Grey Poupon?
Grey Poupon. We're dating. Do you know what Grey Poupon is, Caden? Yeah. Do you remember the commercials?
Pardon me. Do you have any Grey
Yes,
Poupon?
exactly. That was like a thing to do anytime you were out.
That's right.
With buddies and being stupid. All right. So your team, the Cubs, not great. My team's not great.
Well,
They're not very streaky, though.
They're better than the Cubbies, yeah. So no crest too high and no trough too low.
No
Am I missing? Is that a
high.
SpongeBob reference?
No, that is those are nautical terms. On waves,
of course.
Crest of a wave and a trough of a wave. And the pirates are on ships. So thank you for making me explain the joke.
That's a good one. I know, my dad was a
All right.
Navy man. I should have got that.
All right.
So yeah, the Pirates have gone 50 games without having a 3-game losing streak or a 3-game or more than a 3-game win streak or a 3-game losing streak.
But they're still beating the White Sox and the Cubs, it looks like.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, just not in a consecutive span. They are the second team in Major League Baseball history to go 50-plus games without having a streak longer than 3 games.
Huh. Yeah, and it's funny because the announcers, I mean, obviously I watch probably 99% of the games, and the announcers are constantly saying, hey, we just got to put some wins together. When we get 2, nope, we'll never get 3. We don't lose too long. It's a frustrating season if they make a move at the deadline.
How many games are they played right now on the streak?
It looks like 90.
No, like where are they at right now?
In the standings?
No, they're
like,
one or 2 games right now, because if they're at 2, I'm going to go bet against them.
Yesterday they won. They beat the Mets yesterday.
Was it 1 win in a row or 2?
No, they lost on Sunday, so it's 1 win.
So I got to wait. So I'm going to wait till they win 2, and then I'm going to go bet the farm on
but
losing.
I got to tell you, they're in Milwaukee starting tonight, and they do not play well against the Brewers, who are the first place team.
They'll win 1 and they'll lose the next.
Probably.
There you
Yes. This is probably. Wait till
Or
Paul
lose 2
Skeens
and win the
pitches.
next,
He'll win.
And they ain't going to lose 3 in a row. I mean, they're only going to lose 2.
The numbers don't lie.
There, see? Now I know what to bet.
Let's see. Joey B is a big fan from Chicago, right? Or no, he's from Colorado.
Yeah.
Frank will need a shot at Jameson to chase the moonshine down. I don't think I will because the moonshine's probably really smooth.
Very smooth.
Everyone on this
Salted
show
caramel.
thinks I drink Jameson every night because at the Christmas party I had
It's not a bad assumption.
a shot or two. I had a shot or two at the
Shot or
Super
two?
Bowl.
Yeah. And then
2?
But I didn't get on my
Every
liquor
other day
sticker,
since.
my liquor slicker, liquor snicker.
You're going to be on the liquor sickle driving home because I ain't going to change your tire for you.
Trying to remember if I left the parts to change the tire. Yeah, okay. There's the bad tire in the back, the donut on the back.
Yeah, the story got worse, folks, by the way. I said, why don't you just change it? I mean, come on, you're a man. I mean, I assume you're a man. I'm assuming here. I know we shouldn't do that. But
that's why we have the desk up.
You're a man. And he said, well, because the spare's on the other side.
Right, the donuts on that. I want to tell
That's
you.
like my grandfather. My grandfather ran out of gas and always had a Ford Bronco, ran out of gas.
Right.
Carried a 5-gallon jerry can on the back of his garage. And my grandma looked and said, well, Jack, you idiot, get out and pour the gas can in. He goes, I would, Bertie, but I used that yesterday. That's a true story of my grandfather.
I used it yesterday.
True story.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I can. Look, the silver lining in this is I can change a tire in 15 minutes.
So he says.
I can. That's why
it's sitting at another casino that we used to own's parking lot with a flat tire, because he can change flat.
Well, that was the closest. It was either Rio or that. So I went to the Rio. You don't know. I just wanted an open space. Okay.
Plenty at the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes, there is. Let's see. Any? B-Town Dummy's watching. I don't need B-Town Dummy watching the show, right? My best friend Christian, who all he does is rip on me. Okay, where were we, Ryan? What's next on the Post with Punchlines? We're going to bring Dennis Evans in a few minutes, right?
Yeah, he just texted.
Okay, good. Well, maybe after picks, do him at 12:40. Yeah. Okay, Ryan, what's next, buddy?
So we were talking baseball, going to the Yankees, who have been really struggling. But this woman thinks she has the plan to fix the Yankees.
To fix
at
the
trade
Yankees,
deadline.
who are having a horrible.
I'm here to fix the New York Yankees. Everything's fine. First things first, I'm going to need everyone to calm down. The 2019 Nationals were 49-43. The 2021 Braves were 45-47, and the 2023 Rangers were 53-39.
That's interesting.
So similar to us.
I remember
now,
the
I'm not
Nats
going to
were
be
horrible.
blindly optimistic. We need some help. First thing we are going to address is the bullpen. Take the starters out of your head. They're not going to go get another starter. Tanner Scott is going to be one of the most prized possessions on the market in terms of a relief pitcher. P. Fairbanks, I could see them getting from the Tampa Bay Rays, and at the very least, he will give us great clubhouse interviews. Or you could go for David Robertson, who has experience playing in New York. We like him over here. I'm not really concerned about them spending big on a relief pitcher because Matt Blake Masterclass, he can turn anyone into a great pitcher. Are we going to get a big bat? Probably one of the cheapest on the market right now would be Matt Chapman if the Giants sell. Rengifo I would love, but at the same time, they did just put him on the 10-day IL. He's having a fantastic season. There's just no way the Rockies are going to give him to us, but Ryan McMahon is also an option. We are really hurting without Stanton right now, and hopefully when Dominguez comes back, that gives us another really good option for a big bat in the lineup. A lot of teams struggle to start the season, and a lot of teams bounce back after the All-Star break. And at the end of the day, guys, it's right in front of us. Honestly, they're going to be fine. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah, so she was quoting Boone by saying it's right in front of us. He said that each of the last 3 seasons.
Oh yeah, that's right. He does. The whole time I'm watching, the only thing I'm thinking of, and I had loaded up as a joke here, is how come she doesn't have a New York accent? Ann said that during the video, and I stole her joke, but I'm giving her proper credit.
Because it bombed.
That was Ann's joke.
But it was true. I mean, if she's a big New York fan,
yeah, you'd be like, what are we doing
here?
Hey, we need to get a picture.
Come on, let's get.
I almost sent an F-bomb. See, this is what happens when you talk New York. I almost make the board. I am not on that board officially.
Yes, you are.
Oh.
You could be on the board 3 times realistically.
Is it just F-bomb, or did the poopy comment from earlier count?
It's just F-bomb.
Okay, got
it's just F-bombs.
Okay,
we don't mind that. Okay.
We don't mind F-bombs either.
We don't mind.
We just keep track.
Well,
yeah.
I don't remember the thing. Okay.
Once again, Dad, I was never here.
Yeah, exactly. This is just AI. You know how we did the Tom Hanks thing? We did a Tom Hanks, we Brendan Gaughan did an AI thing.
Never here.
All right,
Listen, we get away with the dirty at 12:30 in this building.
That's true.
If my father ever heard what happened at the dirty at 12:30, and you want to hear the best?
Yes.
Never a complaint.
Right.
Have not had one complaint for dirty at 12:30. But we had a lady complain the other day that the Spasmatics played I'm Turning Japanese.
Oh, because it's songs about self-gratification?
No, she didn't know that. She thought it was just racist because it was Asian making fun. And she had we had to explain to Ryan Growney, the general manager, me and Mike Libinati, the entertainment director,
I know.
that I'm Turning Japanese. You know that. It's, It's kind of like Frankie Goes to Hollywood Relax. It's a show about a certain
She Bop by Cyndi Lauper as well.
So we and Ryan goes, it's not about, right. He goes, what song? We go, Turning Japanese.
Yeah, the Vapors.
Yeah, the Vapors. And he goes, and she's mad that it's culturally inappropriate. And I said, hey, let's tell her to go to the Dirty at 12:30 one night and see how it works.
Wake her up there. Yeah. Make sure you come to the Dirty at 12:30 Friday nights. And by the way, the Spasmatics, who I've seen.
They are awesome.
They're phenomenal. There it is. It's 12:36, so the sound is sounded. Sound is sounded. It's a live show. So we do picks at 12:36. Brendan and I, we don't want to throw it on you, but we usually do a pick here on a game. Ryan, do you have anything for today for our fans?
I don't have an official pick, but I do have a stat from Brookskate, who I did accidentally forget to put his Twitter.
We always credit Brooks. That's all right.
But so he has a chart of teams versus starting pitching that are right-handed or left-handed. So if you look at today's matchups, the ones that actually have an edge are the Orioles against the Cubbies.
Is he expecting me to be able to see that right now?
That's why so you don't need to see the whole chart. I'm just going to try and give you
a little sharper.
Today's actual sides. So the Orioles are 41-23 with a .641 win percentage against right-handed pitching. They are facing the Cubs, who have a right-handed pitcher in Jamison Talion. The Guardians are 5th best against right-handed pitching, 35-26, and they are facing Kenta Maeda, who has a 6.71 ERA
Former Dodger,
for the Tigers. The Yankees are kind of split on both sides. Carlos Rodon going for the Yankees, left-handed pitcher, who the Rays are actually one of the best teams in baseball facing left-handed pitching, and the Rays have a right-handed pitcher on the mound in Ryan Pepiot. So that one's kind of split sides, but just know that both teams are clashing on that. The Red Sox, batting against right-handed pitching, are the 6th best team in baseball, 36-27 with a .571 win percentage. They are facing the A's in Joey Estes, who had a really good last time out, pitched the Maddox
I like
the
him.
last time he was out, but he does have a 4.39 ERA on the season. And then the D-backs are really bad against left-handed pitching. They are 13-17, and they are going against Chris Sale, who is the best pitcher in Major League Baseball the last month.
Yeah, the D-backs are bad against left-handers unless it's the Dodgers in the postseason and Clayton Kershaw's on the mound.
Well,
then
Kershaw
they're the
in
best team in baseball. And I bet Clayton Kershaw on that and made a nice little donation here at the South Point. So let's just parlay all of those teams tonight and see what happens. I don't know. My pick, 16. You know what? I was 13-4 for a while. It's about 13-10 now. I think I've had 6 losses in a row. I'm going back to the Cleveland Guardians tonight. I don't know if we have the box up, but I like the Guardians tonight. I know. Trust me. But
Sorry.
Could you guys please explain to Brendan?
When did they do that?
About 2 years ago.
Tells you how much I pay attention.
I know.
Apparently to
but
that.
Thank you for. I've had a really hard time.
Sorry.
I have slipped and said the old name of the Cleveland team, but they're in Detroit tonight. Blake Lively's pitching. Oh wait, Ben Lively. Sorry, I wish it was Blake Lively against Maeda. So does this work out for the Cleveland then?
Thank you, Red Panda.
Yeah, I know, but you didn't point out that was going to be my pick.
No,
I was pointing out, but that was a little Red Panda-ish. But I got a lot going on here. Look at this.
Yeah,
got a lot going on.
Can multitask.
I do like Cleveland tonight. So take the Guardians. I have to pause when I say Cleveland Guardians. But I like the Guardians on the road. They're about $1.45, I think. So yeah, Cleveland's my pick. Got to get that 14th win. Here's what happened. I've been stuck on 13 wins for about a week or so. I was 13 and 5. I was on fire. Then 6. So I got to get 14. 13, bad luck number.
Speaking of fire.
Yeah.
Who's been on fire, Ann, and gone racing?
Someone's leaving
Come on.
the season.
33 units I'm up this year.
Oh, I heard about this. So you're up, but this is
33 units.
Who's close behind?
Nobody.
Leaving him in the dust.
Jeff Motley, though, he makes a baseball reference to the Mendoza line.
Yeah, that's both. Yeah,
and so we call 0 winning percentage Mendoza line. Yeah. Jeff Motley is back below the Mendoza line, and the pit crew, which is headed by, of course, behind the glass.
Behind the glass.
They are above the Mendoza line, but I think they're +7. You said you won like one bet this week, so yeah, I
but you're crushing it.
Oh, dude, I'm 5 units. 30.
I was
33,
he won.
35,
you
37. I don't
won.
know what. Hey, all I know is it's above I have a personal Mendoza line is 30.
Right.
And I'm back above my Mendoza line. So.
This is why I got to tune into Gaughan Racing, 10 a.m. Thursdays right here at South Point
I can give you a tidbit. The best point getter in the last 10 races at Pocono, Kevin Harvick.
Okay.
Don't bet Kevin Harvick this week.
Don't bet him this week, though.
No.
Okay. Don't bet Kevin Harvick. We usually like to take a look back at our shows 100 shows ago. This is episode 191.
We've already had 190 episodes?
This is 191st episode. You're making 100. We have a big celebration for 200. And who are the special guests? Did we get Barry Manilow?
So top secret.
See, she won't even be able to tell me. There's
Barry
rumors. Adele is a rumor. I don't know.
Have you seen who plays the South Point?
Yeah.
You're going to get Engelbert Humperdinck.
I would take Engelbert.
And like
Donnie,
we can do Donnie Edwards. Donnie Edwards
or Jay White.
Jay White?
Well,
listen, I love Neil Diamond. I do a little Jay White.
Jay White's been on the show. Now, speaking of tribute acts, 100 shows ago on episode 91, we had a gentleman from the Beatles group, which I believe is coming back, the Fab Four.
Fab Four.
Fab Four's coming back to the showroom. We talked about the Beatles. He talked about a true story. So here's 100 shows ago where we look back. This is my man who does the Paul McCartney of the band. He was great. Told a funny story about the Everly Brothers and the Beatles 100 episodes ago.
Don and Phil
Everly.
That funny story they talked about when they first met the Beatles.
Yeah?
So, good story. So they said, you want to hear the story? I said, yeah. He said, well, we're invited over to do a Christmas show with Brian Epstein, has all the packages
Their
and
manager,
all these
right.
Christmas shows for a month at a theatre that he owned. So he'd bring in there'd be like 7 or 8 acts on the bill. They'd only do their 20 minutes each. So they had a dinner party at Brian's house. So I said, went there and they were there and meeting all these people. And they met, first they met John.
Right.
And John was not a happy drunk.
Okay.
He was not a good drunk.
Okay.
He was kind of a bit of a mean drunk. And he met John and said, oh, hi, it's Don and Phil, and said, he's put his hand up like the Queen to kiss his hand. Right. And they're thinking, you rude bastards.
Yeah, right.
They're thinking, really? Right. So then they met Paul and Paul's like, oh, he was all over, so gracious.
Wake up little Susie, all the hits. Yeah.
He loved me. He said, you guys are so good. You're my influence and love you guys. And they were talking music. Met George. George could hardly talk. George was so he was just so starstruck. Yeah. Then they met Ringo. Ringo was drunk as well. He didn't even turn around. He put his hand behind them to shake their hand. He didn't even turn to look at them. So they thought, right. He said, but we got the last laugh. I said, what do you mean? He said, when we did our reunion concert in 1980 at the Royal Albert Hall, we got back together after wanting to kill each other for 10 years.
Yeah, right.
They got back together. Everyone who's anyone flew in. Tom Petty, everyone flew in to see the show. Yeah. It was history. So backstage, they went backstage after the show in the green room and all the celebrities were there. And they bought a big Everly Brothers acoustic guitar to give as a gift to George because they knew he loved guitars.
Wow.
So this big dovetail acoustic. So, Ringo and George were there together. So gave the guitar to George. George, oh man, thank you so much. Thank you. You shouldn't have done that.
He showed the respect, right?
Showed the respect. And Ringo's, oh, where's mine? And they both turned around and put their hands behind their back.
Did the reverse
it? Yeah, did the reverse it. Yep. I was an a-hole.
Got him back.
Yep.
Hey, Ringo knew it.
He knew it. He said, I knew.
I love it.
I was a bad drunk.
I love it.
Yeah.
This one's for Joey B in the chat, asking to see Brennan Gaughan's cornrows at Dover. But Brennan Gaughan,
he's gone.
Vanished.
He's gone. Wait, let's ask Brandon, can you explain that cornrows? He left. That son of a gun. He knew it was coming. Yeah, that was great. We pulled it up during that clip. Thank you, Joey B, for pointing that out. What was good? Did he lose a bet? We don't know. Save this for next time.
Yeah, we don't know.
Well, because he was teammates with Allen Iverson.
Oh, yeah. Maybe he played with AI at Georgetown, right? He was a reserve on the Georgetown team. Ah, damn. All right, that's a story for next time. I want to see his reaction when we pull that up. By the way, Reno, Paul's in the room. He's got 73% lately on his bet, so follow Paul there. He'll help you out. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring a gentleman on the show we haven't talked to in maybe, maybe 5 or 6 months. It's our friend Dennis Evans, live in Kansas City. Dennis, thank you for sticking around. Sorry for the delay there. And I was going to ask, I figured you'd be in a minivan, but today you're not in a minivan.
You know, I was just going to say, I'm not in a car. I'm actually indoors in a meeting room and enjoying myself. And I'm just so jealous because I've never had the hair for cornrows. So I'm just a little bit mad. Never had it. You guys say it was a bet. I say met a girl.
Because you do anything. If a girl said, you'd look good in cornrows.
Who knew how to braid.
All right, Ryan, the next bet we make, the next big bet we make, loser has to do cornrows.
Okay.
All right, so stay tuned,
I don't
ladies.
think you're going to do it.
I would do it. I pay off all my bets when I'm told. Don't you dare hold up that sign. Dennis, a lot going on in Kansas City.
We are over 100 days that this is overdue.
There's no late fees. Dennis, last time we talked with you,
we've actually talked about instituting them.
I refuse. We were going to talk to you live from the Super Bowl parade, and obviously some bad things happened there, and you were there live. So we're glad to see you, obviously, for that reason. But the parade was a joyous event. Chiefs won their second Super Bowl in a row. But anyway, thank you for being with us, and I know you were there for that, so that must have been a rough moment.
Yeah, it was. It was definitely a rough one. It's like you're in the middle of this celebration, and it was, kind of a cold, crisp morning. We're out there, and our station. One thing I'm really glad about, they whenever we have something like that, they supply security for us. So we're out there, and the security guy, we hear at the end of the parade this kind of popping noise, and I'm assuming they're setting off fireworks, and the security guy, who's an off-duty police officer, said, no, that's gunfire. That's gunfire. And he kind of pulled us off to the side and just saw all those people running in our direction. It's still like, when I go past there right now, it's still like PTSD. That was just such a crazy, traumatic experience. And it's, since then they've had different events down in that area. So it's let people know, you can be out and be safe, but it still stinks that, that parade to celebrate such a, amazing accomplishment, back-to-back Super Bowl championships was, and someone lost their life in that. So, I mean, it was a crazy day, but, Kansas City has kind of regrouped, moved on, and, they're ready, hopefully, to see, Chiefs can get back and maybe win another Super Bowl and have another Super Bowl parade.
That is highly likely, highly likely. Now, let's switch gears and talk baseball, because it is the summer. The Kansas City Royals are surprising a lot of teams. Bobby Witt Jr. signed that big contract, and he's been worth it. The guy has been spectacular. He's in the home run derby. We're big fans of his here. Now, I know they take, is it the I-70 you take to get to St. Louis? Is that right?
I-70 straight down.
Straight down. So they're playing the Cards. But what is the feel around town about the Royals after so many years down? I mean, they had to rebuild after the World Series, but what's the vibe with the Royals in town?
And here's the thing, we're not talking down. He was talking Mendoza line before, like they were like way below the Mendoza line. We're talking about a team that was losing 100 games on a regular basis. They're coming off of last year where they had the most losses in team history, in franchise history. And then to come back, they came back during this offseason. They made, some key moves. They brought in some veterans, and they really focused on chemistry. And I think one of the things that, Bobby Witt's been playing, so good to have Salvi behind the plate, Salvador Perez behind the plate, and how well he's been hitting the ball. But then I think the biggest key to all of this has been what Seth Lugo's been able to do on the hill. I mean, he has just been, 11 wins is best in baseball. I mean, he has just been playing amazing, over this course of this season. I think people around Kansas City are kind of more like about time. They want they love the Chiefs, but they want the Royals to be good. They want them to be a good team. So, I mean, I think people are so excited, but there's also this cautious optimism because Cleveland came in. I was going to call them
I know. I do it all the time, man. It's the way we were raised.
It's so hard. It's hard not to.
It is. It's impossible.
Guardians came in here, and the Royals beat them in that series. And, they're tops in the AL Central. So, I mean, they have won some good games, but then it seems like they play down to the level of their competition. And we saw that when they went out to Colorado. We saw that in several series. If they can get to where they play well against good teams, if they can get to where those series that you're supposed to win, they win, then this is definitely a playoff team.
Yeah, I listen, I grew up in the 70s watching baseball, Frank White, Dennis Leonard, Larry Gura, George Brett, of course, and Willie Wilson, who, by the way, is today the 9th or the 10th? Is today the 10th?
It's the 9th.
It's the 9th. It's Willie Wilson's birthday. It's Willie Wilson's birthday. Willie Wilson turned 69. He was one of my favorite players because he'd hit that ball on that carpet at Kauffman Stadium, and he had like double-digit triples all the time. He was just so fast. I loved watching him play. So I have an affinity for those Royal teams because they always played the Yankees, and I hated the Yankees, and they'd beat them. But anyway, then the uniforms are still classic. And here's what I want to talk about Kansas City. We're talking about the Chiefs and Royals. There's this proposal that I've seen about trying to move them out of Missouri into Kansas, and it's gaining steam. Or what's going on with that? Because I can't see them leaving. That would be horrible.
But what a disaster. I mean, the whole thing's been a disaster. And ironically, Frank White's tied into that because he is the county executive for Jackson County here in Kansas City. Okay. I think just what happened, and I covered it like on a regular basis. I think the Royals and the Chiefs, they have a 3/8 cent sales tax that they've been getting for the longest time to take care of the cost of the facilities they have. And everyone knows, you have the Royals on one side of the parking lot, the Chiefs on the other side, and it's the sports complex out here. Well, the Royals wanted to leave, and they wanted to go into downtown Kansas City to get their own stadium. Right. But they were still linked with the Chiefs on that sales tax. So what they did was they put that before the voters of Kansas City and just pretty much assumed it was a given that the Chiefs would get the money and they'd be able to rehab Arrowhead and fix some things up around in that area and take over the area where the Royals are. The Royals would get a downtown stadium, but the Royals picked an area of downtown where people really didn't want them. It's an arts district, and they kind of bogarted their way in, and it didn't go over. People were like, no. And I think everyone was shocked. They assumed it was a done deal. They assumed it was going to be no big deal. And when people voted it down, it really caught them off guard. I would be very shocked. Now, Kansas has gambling money. They have these bonds that they can do to try to attract teams over to where the racetrack is. So their goal is to try to attract the Royals and the Chiefs in that area. If I was a betting man, which I am, I bet there's no way in the world the Chiefs ever leave Arrowhead Stadium.
Exactly.
That they're going. I believe the Chiefs stay at Arrowhead and they get that fixed. The Royals, I can see leaving Jackson County and going to another area.
Wow. Now, how far is that proposed move? I don't know the geography.
Just for perspective, it would be like maybe where like Sam Boyd Stadium was. I'd say kind of like it'd be the equivalent to going to where Sam Boyd. So it's not like you're leaving the area.
Okay. Okay.
So you're still in the metropolitan area. You're talking no more than like a 20-minute drive. It's where the racetrack is. There's a casino out there.
Okay.
Sporting Kansas City plays out there. So it's not really, from the outside, it's like, oh my God, they're leaving the area. It's not like even the Niners to Santa Clara. It's really, you're talking a 20-minute drive from where they are right now.
Oh, okay. All right. When you see a move, you're like, oh my God, that's going to be this big dramatic thing. No, it's
it's just kind of moving to a different side of town. That's it.
Okay. Do you have anything, Ryan?
Yeah. So we had mentioned Bobby Witt Jr. Earlier, but Bobby Witt Jr. is the only player in Major League Baseball history to record at least 60 home runs, 100 stolen bases, and 25 triples within his first 400 career games, and he is now participating in the Home Run Derby. Dennis, do you think that he has a chance to win the Home Run Derby? And there's only 5 of the 8 announced. Was there anybody that you would want to see him go against?
No one I really want to see him go against. I'm always Bobby's a slight guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he can hit home runs, but I both know when you get in those home run competitions, the bangers, the guys who are the true bangers, have a tendency to win those. And when I look at his frame, I look at his makeup. It's one thing to be able to catch the right pitch and knock it out of the ballpark, but to be able to just over and over and over swing. And I'm just not a big fan of. I mean, I like the home run contest, but at the same time, if I'm on a team, I don't really like it when one of my teammates gets in the home run competition because I feel like you mess up your swing. He's just not a big enough guy to me to go out there and compete in the home run competition. So I'm honestly predict a really good performance for him. I think he's a good batter, but not in that context.
Yeah, Pete Alonso's the guy. You like the big guy with the forearms and the strength and the legs. He's usually
He's also won it twice before.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So he
also
knows
adding
how to
Alec
win.
Boehm. Alec Boehm leads the league in doubles right now, so it's not looking like he'll be.
He's going to hit a lot of gap shots. That's good. It's solid, solid contact. We're going to talk more about the home run derby tomorrow when Greg Vaughn is here because we there's a chance we got a bunch of stuff to show and talk about. Now we want to talk about the Big 12. There's 16 teams now, and the Big 12 Media Day is happening right as we speak over here in town in Vegas. And Ryan and I are going to go over tomorrow and mess around and get some video to bring back. But how do you feel about the Big 12? You got Kansas and K-State, correct? Do you have an allegiance? Do you root for one of those teams, or where did you go to school?
No. My team. I'm a Missouri Tiger guy, and Missouri left the Big 12. Which it's so funny when in my head, I'm thinking we're talking Big 12. I know this. I start getting my Missouri notes, and then it hit me. It's still hard to believe that they're not. I'm old school.
Yeah.
I'd go back to the Big 8 if I could.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like just the original conferences. It's almost like you really have to study every year just to know who's in what conference. I had look at that. Arizona. I mean, you got Arizona State, BYU in the Big 12. It just doesn't, I get what they're doing. UCF, you have all these teams that are kind of from all over the country, and I know they're doing whatever they have to do to keep it all together. I am happy to see Colorado coming back to the Big 12. That's one of the things that I'm really happy to see Colorado come back. They're one of the original teams, but KU is a school, and K-State has done the thing. Avery Johnson, the quarterback from Kansas State, amazing guy. He's versatile. He can run the ball. He can throw the ball. He started towards the end of the year for them, and I think people who haven't seen him yet, he's going to be one of those guys that could very early on kind of catch everyone off guard and get in the Heisman race he's really that spectacular. And the same with the quarterback Jalen Daniels, who's from KU, really good guy. They have taken advantage of using the NIL and being able to get in good football players, and what their coach has been able to do to take them from a nothing school in football to a legit going to a bowl game and being in the top 20 every year is amazing. What he's done what Lance Leipold has done at KU.
Yeah, and Ryan and I are going over tomorrow, and that is the press day for Deion Sanders, correct? Yeah, so we'll see what Deion's got in store tomorrow. So we're going to have some fun over there.
He doesn't like to talk a lot.
Yeah, he doesn't like to draw attention to himself or have an entourage coming in with him.
Very humble guy.
Very, very humble guy. Let's see.
So still sticking with it. So with the new teams joining the Big 12, Colorado, Arizona State, Arizona, and Utah had their mascots driving down the Las Vegas Strip, headed to Allegiant Stadium.
New kids on the block. Nice. Now is that legal? Are you allowed to drive? Oh, there's not. The mascot's not driving.
No,
okay,
Elvis is driving.
Oh, Elvis. Well, of course. You come to Vegas, you get Elvis. Of
course.
There's a setting on Uber. You can do XL, Uber Black, or Uber Elvis here in Vegas, and that would be great, right? To get. Oh my God, that would be amazing to do that. Anyway,
there's someone driving around in Las Vegas that's Ubering with an Elvis out. That's happening.
And getting the biggest tips ever. I'm sure. I had an ex-Raider drive me around once, and I can't remember his name. He was a lineman. He was a big, scary guy, but he was talking about Lyle Alzado in the past. Really nice guy. So we know you're a bet man. You mentioned it. Do you have any action on today? Have you looked at the games? Do you bet on the Royals St. Louis series?
I have not, and I apologize. I was out on the story and didn't get a chance to really look. So when I give out information, I like to give out solid information. So I don't have any solid info for today, but I will say, if looking forward, I would take KU or K-State to win the Big 12.
A futures to win the Big 12. There you go.
A futures for one of those two to win the Big 12. And also, whatever the number is they put on Colorado for wins, I'm going to go under.
That transfer portal. It can be your friend.
That team's going to fall apart.
It can also be your enemy. Yeah, I mean, he just set himself up for failure with that 4-0, 5-0 start. I'm keeping receipts. And then the losing streak against the good teams. I don't know. Look, those games were huge rating hits for networks, but I enjoy watching it because, I kind of root for Deion. I don't know. I do. But also people love
I want to see him do well. It's just hard to bring those guys together the way that he has, especially offensive line. It takes the longest to put together an offensive line. And, the chemistry on offensive line and defensive line is where everything starts. And that's where he's had the most turnovers. So, I mean, if those guys pull off a miracle and like really gel, but if they don't, when you have that kind of expectation and the spotlight that's on them, guys just now, there's no, hey, we're going to work through it. They just start jumping ship and they'll leave in the middle of the season. So this could either surprise us all or this could really turn into a disaster out there.
All right, Dennis, when you were a kid, last question, who were your idols growing up in sport? Maybe baseball, football, basketball. Who were your heroes growing up?
You know what? I'm going to be honest about it. I'm be 100% honest. Sugar Ray Leonard.
Oh, yes.
Sugar Ray Leonard, Tony Dorsett.
Oh.
And O.J. Simpson.
Okay.
Those were like that's who I just loved. I loved watching, everything about O.J. watching him play. I loved Tony Dorsett and what Sugar Ray Leonard in the Olympics doing where he turned to each corner. I mean, that was
76
I
Olympics
missed
in Montreal,
that time of the Olympics.
Sugar Ray was my favorite boxer, and again, that's when HBO started. It was HBO back then that showed boxing. Alexis Arguello and all these Tommy Hearns, Marvin Hagler. I was such a Sugar Ray fan because he was the flashy, cocky guy, and my buddy loved Hagler. So when there was the Hagler Sugar Ray Leonard fights, we'd watch them, and then we'd fight for an hour or two afterwards, saying who won. Because I was like, Sugar Ray won the fight. They didn't get Hagler down. Oh my God, we still to this day, my buddy Mike O'Day, we still argue about it. But very good.
One of my highlights of being in Vegas was meeting Sugar Ray out there. I mean, it was one of those moments where I went around the corner. I was like, give me just a second, and I just took that moment and said, Sugar Ray Leonard's around the corner. And that just, I mean, I don't have freak out moments because we meet, I meet so many athletes and interview, but being in the room with Sugar Ray, I had to go around the corner and just like imaginary tell everyone that I knew that Sugar Ray was on the other side of the wall. And then I walked back and I think he heard me, but still it was.
Oh man, that would be a big one for me too. The detached retina and coming back and the Roberto Duran fights. Huge Sugar Ray Leonard fan. The best. Dennis, you're also the best. We appreciate it. Is there social media we can follow you on? Because you always have great insight on everything.
It is at devans@kmbc.com is my X handle now. That's my it's late for a New Year's resolution, but my New Year's resolution back in January was to become more active on social media. So I'm going to start now as football season gets going.
There you go. Remember, it's Cleveland Guardians and X. We can't say Twitter and the old one. I know.
Yes.
Trust me, I'm with you. Dennis Evans, thank you so much, Dennis. We'll see you again. Thank you for all your time.
See you soon.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Dennis.
Love having Dennis on the show. He is one of my favorite guests, and he comes out swinging with the jokes, with the cornrow joke right away. Never had enough hair for that. But Ryan or I, one of us will have cornrow soon. What are we doing? Are we wrapping up the show? All right. Great show. I mean, we didn't even know Brennan was going to be on the show until early this morning. So having him on, the energy he brings and how much fun we had. Make sure you check out Gaughan Racing. It lives here on the South Point Studios page. You can check it out live 10 a.m. Thursdays. And him and Jeff Motley do a great program. And he said not to bet Kevin Harvick, correct? Bet I'd go with Kyle Larson. Bet Kyle Larson.
Does like Kyle Larson.
Number one in the power rankings. There you go. And you can also listen to that show on Sirius XM radio, satellite, whatever it's called.
More picks, yeah. Tune in on Thursday.
What's that?
If you want more picks, tune in on Thursday.
Yeah. Tune in on Thursday. Have all your race picks. You come down to the South Point, make a bet, do it on the South Point app. Really appreciate you guys being here. Keith helping out Caden. Caden got a credit card, ladies and gentlemen. Caden's all grown up. He's all grown up. He's like, well, how do I do it? What do I do? How do I use it? No. There you go. And he gave me the number and the CVS. So I will tweet that out tonight, ladies and gentlemen. What's that? Right to Pahrump. Ryan, who's coming up on the show tomorrow? We have
Vonnie.
We have Greg Vaughn will be stopping in. Always a pleasure to talk baseball. We're going to talk about the All-Star game, talk about the Home Run Derby. There's a Home Run Derby chain. We got all sorts of baseball stuff to talk with him. Plus, the season's going on right now. For picks in the tap room, I like the Guardians tonight. Got to get that 14th win. I've been stuck on 13 wins for a long time. Ryan, you're not leaning anyway. You didn't give out a pick, right?
No, it was just that pitcher's.
That stat.
Yeah. Pitcher's
Red Panda
edges.
stat.
Yes.
I was paying attention. I was looking at chats. Chat room was very active. Jerry Trevino downstairs is shocked that Dennis was not in a car or van. And Paul likes Dodgers as dogs in Philly. I think they're going against Zach Wheeler, if I'm not mistaken. It's Bobby Miller, whose girlfriend opened the pack of cards with him. Dodgers, Phillies at home. That's going to be that's the heyday of the 70s right there. Dodgers versus Phillies for me. We appreciate you guys watching the show. Click the links below. Subscribe to our channel, the Punchlines FN channel. We really appreciate that, too. You guys make the show. Thanks for being there. Fun show. Brendan Gaughan and Dennis Evans. I'm Frank Nicotero. That's Ryan McCormick. Punchlines live and about every show.